The New Year's Eve Gala is a really fun, fancy occasion where you get to see these fabulous artists letting their hair down with a 60-piece orchestra. There's Broadway hits, obviously. There's popular classics like the Blue Danube Waltz and the Radetzky March. And it's just a really fun, fabulous atmosphere and a great way to, to lead up to New Year.
It's such a lavish occasion. I mean, that's an old-fashioned word, but it's just with the huge orchestra. The sound is like a tidal wave, I think. And there's such class, I think, to the evening.
When you walk in, there's just class. I mean,
but there is. I think that's what's
and so there's
quite
a sense
lovely.
of celebration and occasion
sense of
about
occasion.
it. Yeah?
Well, if you have Australia's leading lady, Marina Prior, then we've got to do something that shows off her amazing voice, and especially something from Phantom, of course, but also an opportunity to show the sort of multi-textured layers of Marina as a personality and artiste. So there's a bit of Celtic flavour in there. There's a bit of a fun jazzy number, which people might, if they've only seen Marina on carols or in formal occasions, they might be surprised to hear her singing jazzy stuff, which is fabulous, absolutely fabulous. With Mr. Cormick here, of course, with that big, beaming, beautiful baritone voice, we've got a bit of This Is the Moment, a bit of Feeling Good.
Feeling good, yeah, something again
And
that's
crying.
different, isn't it?
The Roy Orbison crying is so beautiful.
One of my favourites, and I suppose I insisted on that, didn't I? I went, can I please do that? Well, I didn't insist, I asked nicely if I could please do that, and it's such a beautiful arrangement with the strings. We were saying before, it's so special to be again back with a real orchestra and in amongst it, and it, for us even emotionally, I started to get a little bit teary as you mentioned you did.
Yeah.
So really special.
Goosebumps and tears.
Yes.
I was smothered.
Well, and of course with Jemma, star of Frozen and Wicked, we picked one from each of those, which is spectacular.
How could we not?
And so that's showcasing each artist as individuals. Then there's all the fabulous duets that you've all come up with and, sort of generated those ideas and trios and all that.
Well, Marina and I did Phantom in 2 different countries. So
Yeah.
I'm in London and you were doing here in
Yeah.
Australia. So we've never actually come together. So for this occasion, we're going to do the love duet of the young lovers of Phantom of the Opera.
Yes.
And we are still young, aren't we?
Yes. Yes.
This is why I love working with musical theatre performers, because they work in an environment where they do have to tell a story. So we talked about crying before. We've all heard that song a million times. When you hear Michael sing it, you actually get the story behind it. The breakup, the heartbreak of seeing someone you haven't seen for a while, who you're still in love with. And that, for a song that you've heard a million times, to hear it again in a brand new way is what these fabulous performers can do, and that's what's really special about them. Yeah, it's such an interesting thing because the orchestra is a concept that's hundreds of years old, and it hasn't really changed all that much. We just added a rhythm section, a drummer, a bass player, a guitarist, so that we can cover the music theatre style of material. That's right. But with the Strauss waltzes and all the other things that the orchestra does, this incredible human invention of 60 people working seamlessly together is one of the most incredible things that humanity's come up with, I reckon, in terms of sort of
something quite spiritual in a way.
You breathe together.
Yeah.
That's the thing that I figured out. I was like, why do I love this? And I was like, I'm breathing with everyone.
Yeah.
Symbiotic relationship.
Yes,
have.
and it's very powerful.
Yeah, and it's also that feeling. I think theatre people or performers tend to be collaborative people, and there is something quite wonderful about being part of something that is so much bigger than yourself. Like, that's what's really thrilling, that we're all these little individuals doing these little bits, and yet we create something so big.
And each of these artists obviously are great performers in their own right. Each member of the orchestra also, like, there are professors amongst them, and teachers and doctors of music and so on. So there's so much brains trust around that group of musicians. It's a very highly qualified group of people, so it's a privilege for me to stand in front of them.